going? So last night I hit 300 subscribers. I am so completely thrilled. Thank you all so much for joining my little family. It made it the best Mother's Day present ever, and so I wanted to wake up and immediately just give you all my thanks. When I started this channel, was very hesitant, and then I remember watching someone's video and she said, your goal is to help someone through this. So if someone were to judge you looking from the outside in for helping other people, that says more about them than you. And it just kind of took away that last reservation I had about doing the channel. And so I decided just to go for it. I had been using Instagram and TikTok to promote a book I had written and loved that book talk community, but then it ultimately got hacked and then TikTok got shut down. And so I got kind of pushed onto YouTube, and so it pushed me out of my comfort zone into making long form content. And I have found that it's given me a much broader view of my audience. I'm able to see what they truly need and how I can benefit them with my content. And my goal is to take what I'm passionate about and what I'm proficient in and let those two things converge, and that be the spark behind my creativity. But I want it to be helpful for you and build trust with my audience. And those key things are what makes channels work, I think, because it builds a community based on trust, based on common interests, and based on like the symbiotic relationship, because I only have my one viewpoint and you're able to teach me so much more. And so whenever I speak about fitness, I've only ever done this by starting in my 30s. I didn't start in my 20s. Someone who started in their 20s may have more information. So who started in their 40s is going to be able to tell me what's coming next. This is just an example of how you guys can help me as well. So I don't ever intend to share my side of the story and expect it to be the only way things get done. I eat high protein, not necessarily the last week. I've kind of fallen off the wagon. But you guys can tell me, what does plant-based protein look like? How has that benefited you? There's so many ideas out there. I run long distance, but my husband's been trying to convince me to run faster for shorter distances. These things all have benefit. I love a minimalist lifestyle. I live on a budget. And a few years ago, we were living abroad and COVID happened, the borders shut down. We had to move back to the United States, and it was one 50-pound suitcase per person. It was me, my husband, and our baby. So we had 3 50-pound suitcases. So we went from 150 literal pounds of belongings to now a house full of belongings. And as we've gone, we've kind of leaned into more of that minimalist lifestyle. Once I had a cookie sheet, which is actually a pizza pan, why buy another one, right? Once I had a 9x13 dish, why buy anything else, right? If it can fit in that 9x13, I don't need anything else, And of course, over time, you're able to curate the belongings in your home and find items that you like. But I am proud of the life we live because my priority isn't stuffing my house full of items that make me comfortable. My priority is meeting our needs and then moving up Maslow's hierarchy to meeting other people's needs and finding my purpose in that and glorifying God in that, by sharing the gospel and encouraging the gospel to be shared and empowering that process financially, because we're not spending our money on excess. We're not spending our money on comfort. We're not spending our money to keep up with the Joneses. These are my mindsets when I talk about minimalism, when I talk about fitness, when I talk about decluttering. It's from a place of what's my ultimate purpose in life and how can I best accomplish that in these minute decisions I'm making every day, because the minute decisions are what add up to who I am. Does that make sense? I remember in college hearing the 5 best friends that you have, or the 3 best friends that you have, you're a mirror of them. So surround yourself by people or with people that you want to be like. And those are the types of channels that I subscribe to, people who are pursuing fitness, who are pursuing a life based on more than just belongings in their home. And I'm not saying it's bad to make your family's life comfortable as a homemaker. I think that that is part of my job. Um, but what I'm seeing as I see this subscriber number increase is that people are resonating with my goal and resonating with what I'm saying. And that tells me, even though everything I'm doing is so imperfect, I have so much to learn, and I've stumbled along the journey, it's still getting across and people are still resonating. So, as imperfect as the journey has been, it's still been my journey. This little YouTube channel, we're 2.5 months in and just now hit 300 subscribers, And I remember on my birthday, I had a video reach 1,700 views. And I just thought, what a nice little birthday present. And then how here on Mother's Day to have my subscriber count hit 300. It's just, I feel so blessed and so like thrilled that not only did that happen, but that happened on those two special days. Today's actually my husband's birthday, so happy birthday, Pablo. And so it just feels like we have so much to celebrate. We have so much to be thankful for and grateful for. How can we be selfish when we're just so grateful, right? How can we be so focused on ourselves when we're just in awe of this life that we've built, and we have a family, we have children, we have loved ones, we have friends. I feel so completely privileged to have been able to come to the United States and be given, my husband was given a job opportunity from some friends, and we've had an amazing church. We've had to rebuild our lives, because our home church previously closed during COVID as well. So it was, 5 years ago, it was this brand new beginning. And just to see that we've been able to make it and not survive, but truly thrive in our simple, humble, loving life. Like, we have such a simple life, but it's so saturated with love and gratitude and joy, and that's what truly matters. So now this is just an extension of that, who I've become in the last 5 years as we've reinvented our lives at this new beginning. You're taking part in that. So let me know in the comments what topics interest you the most, and how can I help you? What questions do you have? How can I cheer you along? I know one of the followers run a podcast, just ran her first 50K, so I want to give her a big shout out. And then Apple Cider Farms. I'm absolutely loving your content and your adorable adopted rescue donkeys. It's just been amazing connecting with people online and seeing your faces and seeing how you've grown your own channels, if you have channels, and the type of content you're putting out. So introduce yourselves in the comments, because that's why I'm here. I want to make friends and find that like-minded community and chip in the 2 cents that I have, see if it's helpful, and learn from you guys and just grow in this symbiotic relationship that we can benefit from. So anyway, I'm gonna get off of here and go inside and hit the gym. I think I'm gonna do a run, and then we're starting off a brand new week. Tonight I'll make a blueberry crumble pie for my husband's birthday. He's the love of my life. He is my beloved. And our sons are at school very short, for 2 hours, less than 2 hours for one of them, and then 3 hours for the other one. So, and then we'll have the rest of the afternoon, me and the kiddos. But that is my plan for the day. What are you up to? And thank you for joining. It means the world to me. Bye-bye.